Someone flicks me a bad body. Say, oh, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
All good, cuz. What you saying?
I'm all right. No, can't complain. You know, I'm in my little studio, as you can see.
I'm
good.
Everything. So look, I'm gassed, man.
How's your week been?
You know, it's been a good week, man. I'm just feeling gassed right now. Obviously, got the Congo colors on right now. Old shirt, but look, we're representing regardless, man.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to go straight on it and talk about, you know, the future potential fight between Eubank and Canelo.
What?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, Eubank, he fancies Canelo. Can you see that fight, you know, happening in the near future?
You know what? Obviously, big up to our subscribers, our viewers, our listeners. Thank you so much once again for, you know, tuning into this show. Al Heyman of iBoxingHub started us off by just saying Chris Eubank Jr. is pushing for the Canelo Alvarez fight in the UK. Cuz if that fight does happen, I would love to see that fight happen at 168. It needs to be at super middleweight. I think Eubank now is getting to that point where he's growing into his body more, and before he wasn't really a super middleweight. Now I think he's more naturally, I think he can comfortably make the weight. So I think that would be a good move. Why not? The big fights. A lot of people could say XYZ about Eubank, but regardless, people are going to pay to see him win or pay to see him lose. He's just that character. You know, he carries the name, and I think every time he steps in the ring, he's fighting for his name. He's fighting for, you know, proving people wrong. So I think that will be a good fight if that happens. But we can't write off Charlo. The fight's
no, don't get me wrong. No, I'm not. This is just a future potential fight. I'm not saying, oh, you know, I'm not talking about now. I'm just talking about maybe, I don't know, end of next year. Because the question that I wanted to ask you was, Eubank vs Canelo, would it do more numbers than Eubank vs Ben here in the UK? Wembley Arena. So Wembley Stadium, should I say?
It depends. Look, it's the fantasy fight everyone wants to see, Ben versus Eubank. But at the end of the day, the way I see it is, Canelo is the guy that's holding boxing right now, man. So quite difficult to not think that he's gonna, you know, do more numbers. But from a UK perspective, yes. But from a global perspective, meaning, you know, you got people from the States, Mexico, and different countries, no. So on the global scale, no. But from a UK perspective, yeah.
Okay. Cool. No, it'll be interesting just to see, because if that fight was to happen, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first time Canelo's actually fought in the UK. He's never fought in the UK before.
No, he's never had to. He's not had to. He's like Mayweather in a sense where, you know, he could control where he fights. You know, he could fight in Mexico. He can fight in the Mecca, which is, you know, the United States. He's not had to come to the UK yet. Maybe a Eubank fight can get him to, you know, the UK. And I think it would be quite entertaining. A lot of people are writing off Eubank, but we saw a good performance against Smith. And he showed he can come back. He showed he's got heart of a warrior, especially to come back after a loss. I think it's always difficult to come back after a loss. And psychologically, sometimes fighters, you know, don't come back the same. But Eubank just showed that, look, that was a blimp. You got the job done, man. So big up.
So how do you see that fight going, Eubank and Canelo? Do you think Eubank will perform better than Billy Joe Saunders?
I think he could, yeah. I think he can potentially. I think the reason why he could potentially is because the old Eubank, which he was able to display against Smith, he's gonna put it on him. He's gonna, energy. Like it's gonna have to be that type of fight to beat Canelo. But the question that I want to sort of flip over to yourself is, do you see this fight going 12 rounds if that fight happens?
Yeah. Eubank has got a heart of a warrior in it. He doesn't give up. It's a bit like, it's a bit different. But remember when he fought Groves?
Yeah.
12 rounds. Do you know what I mean? Didn't give up. And the funny thing is, Groves was injured after that fight. Yeah. So look, a fantasy fight can potentially happen, and it'll be interesting if it happens here in the UK because it will be massive. It will be massive, do you know? But who'd host it? Would it be on Boxer? Would it be on? Would it be Matchroom? I know it won't be Queensberry, but it's just a weird one, isn't it? Or would it be what's his name? What's his promoter's what's Eubank's promoter's name again?
Wasserman Boxing, yeah. Wasserman.
Yeah. That'll be massive. That will be absolutely massive.
Joint. You know what they were going to do with Ben? Do the phone, and I think something similar like that could happen. But because Alvarez is obviously with PBC Al Heyman
at the moment, yeah,
Wasserman will have to sort of have that discussion with Al Heyman, and I'm sure that could happen. Yeah.
So let's get this straight, right? Canelo, is it a free fight deal with Showtime?
Yeah.
So
Al
Heyman.
Charlo.
Who else? Who's the other two?
We don't know. We need to see.
So let's just say, all right, he's fought all three opponents, right, and he's beaten them. So am I right in saying the Eubank fight? Let's just say if Eubank is still winning his fights, etc., that fight could potentially happen.
Yeah, definitely. Why?
I reckon it'll probably be in America.
Yeah, obviously, big up Palamos Music, obviously showing some love. He's obviously saying Eubank has absolute no chance of beating Canelo. Look, to the boxing world, he might not even have a chance. But one thing that we know in boxing, there are a lot of surprises, and he's got a puncher's chance of, having some sort of opportunity. But it all depends on what Canelo shows up on the night. If it's a, off par Canelo, Eubank's got a tremendous chance. Even if it's a Canelo that's right now, yes, but we just don't know with boxing. But obviously on paper, we know, it's Canelo, but, you just never know in boxing. Eubank could, produce the goods, who knows?
Well, the next upcoming fight is Haney.
Well, Haney versus Regis Progress, the champion. So he's moving up. Is that confirmed?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes-ish. But like I said in previous pod, if that's the case, if he's moving up, I think it's fair for him just to vacate all of the belts. It's only fair.
Yeah, just give everyone a chance, man.
Really. Yeah. That's one thing that I find annoying, because it's just like, if you've moving up a weight and you're struggling to make the weight that you used to make, why are you still holding on to the belts? I feel that you're being greedy.
Yeah.
Let someone else eat. Because it's just, I don't know, man. I just think it's a bit unfair because, I've said this so many times here, obviously I'm not going to go off the topic, but I'm a Tank fan, innit? And a lot of people complain about Tank, he's a fake champion, blah, blah, blah. But, these are not giving them an opportunity, because the fights can happen. The fights will be big. Yeah, vacate the belts, man. Just vacate the belts.
That's what I think as well. I
think division looks serious. It's got serious competitors.
And obviously, we've seen a bit of bias here from Al Heyman of iBoxingHub. He's obviously saying Haney is the king.
But all right, sir. All right, let's have this discussion. Yeah, we're saying he's the king. Yeah, he's the undisputed champion. Yeah, I rate him. Yeah, But who has he beaten?
Oh, he's got Lomachenko and
Okay.
on his CV, which is
Two people.
Yeah.
Just two people.
Hmm.
Until he beats Shakur Stevens, Tank. Who else is in the division who's booming? Or is it just them two at the moment?
I would say those are the major players, them two. Lomachenko is obviously. Oh no, he beat Lomachenko in it. So yeah, he's got Shakur Stevenson or Tank.
Tank's beating everyone, man. Okay, do you know what? Funny, somebody said that. Somebody did say, yeah, who has Shakur Stevens beaten? The only person I know he's beaten is what's his name? He challenged him for his belt. He's retired now. I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name. He was the current champion, and then Shakur beat him. I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name. My mind's gone blank. I'm sorry. I've forgotten his name.
Get involved in the discussions as well. Like, you know, who is the name? This is like a bit of a trivia for you guys, but who is the name of the person that BNG is talking about? Guys, get involved in the discussions. But you know what? You think about Tank as well. I think in terms of the fighters he's fought, you know, he's fought, you know, quite a few fighters. He's gone up a few divisions as well. You know, I think the fact that he's got a fight with Oscar Valdez. How did we forget that name? Oscar Valdez. How can I forget about? He's not retired though, cuz Oscar Valdez.
No, it wasn't Oscar Valdez. No. Oh, his name's gone on my mind. Literally, he was my mind's gone blank. Apologies, my mind's gone blank.
Yeah, you'll probably think about it in a bit, man.
That black dude, what's his name? Man.
Guys,
He beat him on points. But it'll come to you. I'm gonna have to Google it. But yeah, no, it'll come to me. But now you're gone.
Yeah, I was just saying that you just think of Tank, for example, he's fought, you know, in various weight divisions. He's been able to sort of go up the ranks, fighting the likes of El Azteca, who's obviously going to be fighting, you know, Ugas for that spot, you know, that for that welterweight title. You know, these two are going to basically be an eliminator, and the fact that Tank's beating someone that potentially is bigger than him as well, you got to put him up there. He's the pay-per-view star in terms of getting bums to seats, fans to seats. He does the numbers off the ring, and he's also, you know, producing the goods in the ring as well. So I think if you want to talk about who's the moneymaker in the division, you got to put Tank up there, man. Without a world title, yes,
That's it.
Jamel Herring. How did we not get that? This is just such a big up him, big up him in a iBoxing. Big up Jarrell Herring. Yeah, of course, yeah. Legend as well, man. Big up to him, man.
So that's the only person who Shakur Stevens has beaten in my eyes.
Oscar Valdez as well. You got to give him that.
Okay, I'll give it to him. But like I said, look, all them, them three, they need to all fight each other.
Yeah, look, Haney has a better resume than all of them.
I'm not too sure about that one there, but I know where you're coming from, but I'm not quite too sure. But yeah. I'm not.
But you get where he's coming from.
Of course.
You know, he's got Convulses twice. He's got Lomachenko there as well. You know, who has a better resume? No, that's true. I think Tank's the guy.
Do you think Convulses would want to fight Haney again?
Yeah, I think he would want to fight him again.
I don't think he wants to. I honestly don't think he would want to fight Haney again. I think he wants Haney to vacate the belts, and then perhaps Convulses could challenge the likes of Tank or Shakur.
That's even harder fights.
Well, you got to think of it, yeah. If he's lost to Haney twice, he ain't gonna go for a trilogy. I mean, like, he could, don't get me wrong, but it's just like he's gonna try a different route. Think about it. If he's fighting Tank, you know he's getting paid.
Yeah, of course. For sure. It's mad. You know what? It's all mad when you just think about, you know, the scope of boxing right now, especially in the lightweight division. It's very, very interesting because you've got a lot of these fighters who can fight each other. That's why I'm trying to wait to see Tank versus Shakur Stevenson. We need to see them two fighting for one of these belts. That's
I
why I'm
believe.
saying if Haney vacates the belts, that's a tremendous opportunity. Obviously, big up to I think that's I can't even see that. So how would you pronounce that? Cause you help me out here. How would you big up?
No, I don't know. I'll just read it out. CXNWXY.
Big up, big up, big up.
Big
Thank
up,
you
big up.
so much. Thank you so much for tuning
But
in.
I believe that next year
Yep.
that we're gonna get Shakur Stevens and Tank.
For the P's, yeah. Look, he's saying he would run it back for the P's. I think he would as well. So I think he's talking about Kambosos and Haney. I think he would definitely run it back for the P's for sure.
Honestly, I want to see Kambosos fight.
Right.
Huh?
He would come to the States for that fight.
I know, don't get me wrong, like because they fought on twice already. I want to see Kambosos challenge Tank or Shakur Stevens, man. That's what I want to see now, man. Because Kambosos, he's got a heart. But then again, I'm just going by his last performance. Should you have won that fight? I don't know. Some people say no, it should have been a draw or he lost. Again, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, I don't really want to see him and Haney again. I want to see him and Shakur Stevens or Tank. That's just my personal opinion. But anyway, moving on. I'm hearing that there could potentially, possibly be a fight between Conor Benn and Barrios.
What? Ellis Teca. Oh, wait, is that?
It's just talks. Nothing's been confirmed. It's just, you know, one of them ones when you just hear like, you know, he would like to fight Conor Benn.
Oh, is that what he said? What did Barrios say? He wouldn't mind fighting?
Well, I saw an article, so I don't know how true it is, but it will be interesting.
Oh, Adam Aziz beats Kambosos. Big up Tony Ellis. Thank you for
interesting. See, that's it. There's another one there as well. Adam Aziz. Do you know what I mean?
Adam Aziz, yeah. No, big up, big up. You know, that would be a good fight. Just thinking about Mario Barrios and Conor Benn, I think that would be sort of the fight that he needs, especially in the States, man. I would love that fight to happen in the States. If not, bring it over here to the UK if, you know, Ben gets his license. But for me, you know, Ellis Teca, he doesn't get enough credit for, you know, what he's done in the sport. I think he's a warrior. He had that tough fight against Tank. You know, it was a very, very tough fight. And I think he'll just bring his heart and that sort of Mexican, you know, energy to the ring, man. So, no, big up Ellis Teca, man. And if that fight...
After that, he lost to Keith Thurman, innit?
Yeah, look, he went up, fought Keith Thurman at welterweight. Still at welterweight. Now he's fighting Ugas as well. So...
Oh, is that fight definitely happening?
That's happening. It's in the undercard, cuz. It's on the undercard for Charlo versus Hello. That's what I'm saying.
How'd you see that one going?
Well, you guys said that's why I'm excited. That is why I'm excited for that fight. Because potentially we're gonna see two guys, you know, come back from a loss and they both want wins. And whoever wins is gonna be in line for the title shot.
Wow, I just clocked. Ugas. See, I'll prefer to see Ugas and don't get me wrong, no, it's a big fight. I'm definitely tuning in, but Ugas and Ennis.
Oh yeah, that would
That's a proper fight.
That would be a proper one. That would actually be a proper one. If we
saw. But talking about the welterweight division, so what's happening in Crawford? Is he going to vacate the belts or
what? We don't know about him vacating the belts, but we know that, you know, Spencer's, you know, activated his rematch clause, and I think that fight's going to happen at 154. So I don't know if he's going to hang on to some belts or.
In theory, because he's even said he was struggling to make 147, innit?
Yeah.
So in theory, because the way I see it, them two fighting at 154, the belts are not on the line.
Yeah.
So
it's more Spence getting that, you know, opportunity to avenge his loss, but at a bigger weight, man. You know.
Yeah, but then listen, these undisputed champions. I love it when somebody's an undisputed champion, but then it just gets bored. It's just like, dude, you're undisputed now, man. Look, just if you're not going to defend them, just release them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Look, I think once a fighter becomes undisputed and they get the belts, They can hang it in their house or whatever. That's theirs. They've achieved it. Like no one can take that away from them.
Interesting. Just to see. I just want to see what the outcome will be on this rematch. If it's going to go the same way. I don't know. I don't want to. You know me, man. Like I said before, I back the underdogs, man. You just never know. This is a different way.
This time, yeah. Huh? Spence.
Boy, do you know what? Well, I don't know what's going on with Bomac. I just could it affect Spence? Not Spence. Crawford. I don't know. You know, because he's been working. He's been with Bomac for years. For years, isn't it? Yeah, all his life, really. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting just to see what the outcome. I think the outcome might be just a bit different.
Well, you reckon it's going to be different?
I think it will probably go to distance. Yeah, I think it could potentially go to distance. But then again, I don't know how true this is. I'm hearing that Derek James might be leaving Spencer's corner. I don't know. It was just a rumor. I don't know how true that is.
Woo! Damn. You know what? If that's going to happen, it would kind of change. No, I don't know. We just don't know. Maybe fresh start. Who knows? But Spencer's been with Derek James, you know, since the beginning. I don't know why I can't see that happening, man. I think it's just kind of talks. But let's see what happens. But obviously, Al Heyman of iBoxingHub is saying that Crawford don't need a trainer. He's that guy. Look, he showed he's that generational talent. He said that this is his era. You know, he produced the goods in that first fight. And look, we have every right to think that. But, you know, this second fight, we just don't know what's going to happen. That's the beautiful thing about boxing. Will weight be the factor that, you know, separates the first fight? Or is it going to be same thing, repeat once again? That's what makes it so interesting right now.
Keith Thurman, he's been calling out Crawford. And Crawford, you know, he replied. He said he's not going to give him a shot because he said, like, when Crawford was calling the big boys out, nobody was interested. Nobody wanted to entertain him. Now it's funny now how he's the, you know, undisputed worldweight champion. Now everybody wants him. So do you think he's wrong in doing that?
No. Look, I understand why he's doing that, but then at the same time, Keith Thurman's still a good opponent to fight in the welterweight division. Like, I respect it as well. And obviously, Al Heyman of iBoxingHub is saying he respects it as well. But I do think that we can't sleep on one time. I think he's still hungry, man. I know he's not fought in a long time, man. But, you know, there's certain fights that you could, you know, be motivated for. I think he'll be up for this fight, man. And who knows? Who knows? He's not going to be like Spence in terms of his style. His style is slightly different. Going to be more athletic, using his feet, move around the ring. Yes, it's not going to be, you know, on the level of Crawford, let's say. But, you know, he could make it quite competitive. Who knows?
Okay. Oh, moving on swiftly. Okolie and Chris William Smith. I haven't heard anything, but if it does happen, this rematch, how do you see it going?
It depends what Okolie comes to the ring. For me, in this first fight, it didn't look like the same old Okolie that we know. He just looked off. He didn't look sharp. Yeah, I think this time coming round, he'll be more motivated. Obviously, he's with Sugar Hill, I believe. You know, Fury's ex-trainer or trainer. I don't know what this situation is. Trainer. Yeah. So you already know how the Kronk gym is. In order for Okolie to win, he's going to have to knock him out. And what's the Kronk way? Knockouts. So I'm sure in the back end, we haven't heard anything, but I'm sure Okolie and Sugar Hill, they're drawing up a plan to knock out, you know, William Smith, man. Because I think that Lawrence Okolie is more than capable of doing it. But, you know, William Smith on the night, it was just his night. He had put on a good performance. granite chin. He had heart. He had grit, and you just knew he wanted it more in the night, man. But now that Okoli is going to be the challenger, I think he could be motivated to become a two-time champion again, and to see if he could unify the division. But I want to see Isaac Chamberlain in the mix. I want to see him in that triple threat mix. Isaac Chamberlain, Bill Smith, Coley.
He's challenging for the British cruiserweight title. Remember, he's fighting on the undercard of Boatsi and Dan Aziz, so that's a big fight for Chamberlain. If he beats his opponent, then hey, maybe, because remember, not long ago, I think it was this year, I believe, was it early this year? He fought Chris Billam Smith for, I think, the European title, and it didn't go his way. So I don't know. So let's see where it goes. But Okoli so that's the thing. Would Okoli move up to heavyweight, or would he move up to bridgerweight? Because do you think heavyweight might be a bit too much for him?
I think, and this is just me. Look, this is just my theory. I think once AJ has left the sport, which I believe is coming soon, not soon as in next year or whatever, but we're coming up to the point where Fury, Wilder, Joshua, maybe a Ruiz might be leaving the sport. That's where I could see a Coley moving up, where there's a fresh, where the titles have been, spread out. There's been an undisputed champion, and it's like a new sort of era. I do see him moving up, but we can't be thinking about him moving up because he's got, business to deal with at cruiserweight. He needs to unify potentially, and then he also, after he unifies, try to become undisputed. Once he's done that, then he's got the right man to move up, man.
Do you know what? It's a bit tough because I know we're talking about unifying the cruiserweight division, but it was like, how can I put it? Because he's lost to Billam Smith. Not to say that he can't, unify the division, but I just think it's going to get tougher and tougher because you've got Richard Riakpo, you've got, other names as well.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I definitely get where you're coming from, and big up as well. Love it. I'm just going to say, see my brother. God bless you. He's obviously saying Coley will lose again, in my opinion. Hugging Bill Smith down. Look, Chamberlain against Laurel. Yep, that's going to be a big fight. Yeah. Big fight in the undercard. I just can't wait. The vision's looking good. Palamos Music's obviously saying with weight, Coley is up with Wilder's banging power. Look, he could do some damage in the heavyweight division, but I just feel that he's got some unfinished business, and also to just build himself up a little as well before getting into the big boys, the heavyweights. That's where punches are gonna be wow. So yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. I know it's a bit weird, but Coley vs Triple D. How do you see that one going?
If we're foreseeing the future, if Coley is a heavyweight and he's comfortable at the weight, the source is beating him, man. I reckon.
Wow. I've said this already. I'll say it again. I think the winner of David Adelaide and Fabi Wardley should challenge Triple D, and then challenge for a European title, and then possibly challenge for a world title. That's just my personal opinion, because like these lot, they're the next new gen. They're the future world champions. So yeah,
there's a lot of guys here. They got to go through. Jamie.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm just talking. No, don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about them two, like for now. But again, like look, we've got the heavyweight division. We've got Bacoli, we've got TKV Jamie. We've got Adelaide, we've got Fabio. I'm missing out some more. Again, we still got Triple D. Who else have we got? There's a few more out there. Even thingy, what's his name? Mr. Wash. From Essex. I've got his name. Fisher. There's plenty. There's plenty.
Yeah, and obviously Al Heyman, could you put that last comment up from Tony Ellis? I believe that's a. Ooh, yes, big up Tony Ellis for this.
I don't.
Versus Coley. This is the battle of East London. You know, this should happen at Super Box or
So all right,
London Stadium.
Yard vs Akola. So that means Yard has to move up to cruiserweight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Which
So
yeah.
So once Yard, you know, if he unifies the division or becomes a world champion and decides to move up, he's definitely going cruiserweight.
I would think so. I think Yard is big enough, and Heyman of iBoxingHub is obviously agreeing as well. I think he could. A lot of these guys, they are at their weight, but obviously you got to shrink down to a certain weight. But yeah,
I just because I'm hearing Billy Joe Saunders is coming to light heavyweight. I want to see Yard and Billy. That's the fight I want to see. That's a big fight.
I don't know. Do you think he's gonna be big enough to handle, Yard's energy?
Yeah, I think that's his natural weight. Billy. So I think I don't know, but what I'm hearing, he's struggling to make to come down. So because the fight that I wanted to see him was with him and Eubank, but I can't see that happening. And unless I don't know, Eubank wins a world title and Billy Joe calms down just for that world. You know what I mean? And then I can see that one happening. But for now, for the time being, I can't really see it happening.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think if Eubank win, but imagine if Eubank wins a midweight title. Can you really see Billy Joe moving down divisions like that? I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know, because it will be interesting. Just think about it. They're having the rematch and it's for a title.
Boxing Bosch. Yeah, I have Boxing Bosch. Big up, big up, big up.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we shall see, man. We shall see. But is there any updates that you want to discuss or you've heard, and any news?
To be honest, because I'm more excited and ready for the next event, which is obviously Big Bang Zhang versus the Juggernaut, Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce just announced his partnership with Bet Victor, I believe. So right now, they're the team's feeling confident. I'm sure Big Bang is feeling confident as well. Repeat Revenge. I know we've discussed it a few times, but I don't know. I'm more leaning towards Repeat, man, for this scenario, unless Joe Joyce has been able to work on dealing with southpaws. Cause is there any boxing?
Good question. Do you know what? I thought. To my knowledge, hold on. This Saturday? No, I think it's next Saturday. I think there's a DAZN show on. I'm not too sure. There's a title, cruiserweight title. Jump. Apologies, it's been a long day, but I believe DAZN's got a show on the same night as Zhang. No. Charlo's on the end of the month, on the 30th. DAZN's got a show. It's here in the UK. I think, is it in Birmingham? I'm not too sure. I have to get back to you guys on that one. Apologies, Tony. I'll have to message you or something. But
both guys, if you guys know what the fight is, this is what we're doing the pods for. It's a discussion for everyone to get involved anyway. So, because in terms of news right now, nothing really to update like that. But look, I'm just excited. Palamos is also looking forward to Billy Joe versus Eubank. That's a money maker, but it just depends on the weight. Is that going to happen at super middleweight? Middleweight? Will Eubank move up to super middleweight? Will Billy come down to middleweight? We just don't know, man.
Yeah, and I mean, with boxing, anything's possible. But for what I'm hearing, Billy Joe Saunders is light heavyweight now. But again, it could change. But it'll be interesting just to see. But
yes, big up. I'm so sorry even about my brother. Ellis Zorro is obviously fighting September 15th. Big up Ellis Zorro as well. Al Heyman, thank you so much for reminding us of Ellis fighting. So guys, definitely tune into that. And William Zepeda versus guess that lightweight is obviously going to be happening September 16th. So guys, there's a few fights to, I would say, give us a bit of a build up for the big one that's obviously coming up at the end
of
of the
course, of course. This must say this year boxing so far, it's been absolutely tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I think the only way
Josh Warrington as well is coming.
Yes, that is a big fight. I think I'm sticking with Lee Wood. Ever since I had a talk with Bazza, I think Lee Wood's got this. I think Lee Wood is going to knock out Josh Warrington. My personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. And obviously, big up Bazza. Bazza is an absolute legend. With what he's doing with Jamie Lee. He's doing a tremendous job with them. So big up to them. And Chantal Cameron versus Katie Taylor too.
Do I see it? Repeat, or it could be a draw. That I'm no disrespect to Katie, but is either a repeat or a draw. But then I think it would have been fair if Katie had, because Chantal was willing to come down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And to challenge for Katie's titles, and obviously she didn't want to. She still wants to fight at that weight, but it is what it is, man. But I was going to ask you one thing, right? What? Okay.
Catchall versus Linares. Look, there's quite a few punches. Yeah, quite a few fights.
I think next year we might get Jack and what's his name? The guy who I've forgotten his name, the Scottish dude.
Josh Taylor.
Yes. I believe that's going to be happening next year.
Ooh, yeah. Jack smokes Josh Taylor. Ooh,
100%.
Ooh. You know
what I was going to say,
I can't even lie. I think a lot of people are thinking that after the first fight, but I think Josh Taylor's had a lot of time to process what happened in the first fight. I'm sure he's preparing for that second fight, and I think there's going to be a different fight coming around. I think there's going to be more focused. If Josh Taylor fights how he normally fights, a confident Josh Taylor in the inside, because he's like, me and my boy obviously discussed this the other day. He's like a inside boxer, if that makes in the inside, that can box well. So if he could utilize, getting the shots, the angles from the inside, who knows what could happen, especially against Jack Catchall.
Do you think, right? So obviously, Eddie Hearn keeps going back and forth about the Fury and Wilder fight that it may be happening potentially this year or next year or late next year. Do you think if the WBC was to strip Fury from the belt, do you think they could potentially? Do you think Wilder and AJ will definitely fight for the WBC belt?
Yeah, definitely, but I don't see the WBC stripping Fury, man.
No. I'm just saying, just because it's just like this is dragging on now. This is just it's long now. It's just like the hype is good, but now it's just like, dude, it's been like what? When did you last fight again? Was it September? No, not sorry. Was it August? And it's like nothing. And Wilder's team, I haven't heard nothing either. So it's just Eddie saying that Wilder wanted to fight next month, but we ain't heard nothing. No opponent. AJ, he wants to potentially fight in December. Again, we haven't heard anything. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you was to vacate his belt, do you think that fight will be made straight away? Because they're both, one's number one, one's number two.
I don't think it will make much of a difference, man. This in this scenario, it just seems like all fighters are not driven by being champion right now. I think for this specific fight between Joshua and Wilder, it's the money. Okay. Both promoters need to agree on a figure where Wilder's happy and his team's happy, and Joshua and his team's happy as well. And I think that's the only thing that's stopping these two from fighting. I think it's the magic figure that both parties can be happy with, so everyone can pretty much eat. So if anyone does lose, the person that's losing doesn't really sort of miss out on a lot. So I think it's one of those scenarios. But I think both fighters won it, but the restraint is the promoters agreeing a deal.
Okay. All right then. Well, I guess it's that time. It's been a pleasure speaking to you about boxing as usual. Guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. We should hopefully have on a special guest on the show very soon.
Sunday, yeah, I believe. Yes, we do have a special guest coming on this Sunday. Guys, just tune in, and we'll reveal the special guest on the day. So yeah, excited.
Well, like I say, we're here twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays, 7:30. Well, guys, have a lovely, productive week, and we shall see you later. Peace and love.
It's another band. All the Mars and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flex me a back by the end. Say, oh, it's another one, yeah, it's a full strand, yeah. Oh.